Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Pocono Raceway here in Pennsylvania. Typically a hotbed for dirt sprint car action, but here tonight at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, we're getting ready to go with a 50-lapper coming up here for you. 50 lappers. It's the Reaper Speed Lap 50. Presented by Reaper Speed Labs, Trayton Lapsevich and Boyd Hagen. Custom setups for various iRacing series, and you can find them at Reaper Speed Lab, tonight's race sponsor. Well, you see the field is starting to get gridded up here on pit lane. They'll get ready to roll off, and we're going to bring in our in-race reporter as they are getting ready to roll off here. You'll start to see the lineup come across your screen. And we'll bring in our first in-race reporter of the night, Jason Metcalf. A solid second-place run last week at Watkins Glen International. He comes in tied for the best average finish of the drivers that have run all four races at 5.25. Jason, what's it going to take tonight to try and keep up with that fifth place or better average finish?
Probably a lot of patience, tire management, and just staying out of everybody's trouble, and hopefully I'll be at the top 5 again soon.
Tell us what makes this Pocono Raceway so tricky here with these B cars.
Every corner is different. You have to handle it and take every corner differently. The speeds, brakes, all that kind of stuff. It's such a tricky triangle, they call it.
Well, that is for sure, man. Good luck to you here, and we'll hope to see you make your way toward the front here as this race goes on.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
All right, there's Jason Metcalf, our first in-race reporter of the night. We'll have several of them as the race night goes on. Trent Ringler, Alex LeBay. LeBay's made one start here in 2020. Good to see him back with us tonight. He'll go from the outside pole here. Tom Senchek with 2 race wins, starting alongside Will LaRue, who's still searching for his first feature win of the 2020 season, and they are getting ready to bring it through turn number 3. There isn't 4 turns here, just 3 at Pocono, and we're getting ready to go as the iRacing pace car pulls off of the racetrack. The Reaper Speed Lap 50 is underway. Oh, and look at them already fanning out 3 wide here on the front straightaway, as Trent Ringler will lead them down into turn number 1. Oh boy, look out, getting real close there. Maddox Richey getting into the concrete coming off of turn number 1. Richey's got to gather it back in. He's going to lose a spot. He's got the 19 here coming up on him fast. That's Jeff Cote, last week's feature winner from Watkins Glen International. Cote fresh off his first win of his career here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. That's a great battle going on there between Maddox Richey and the 19 of Cote. Lap number 1 goes on the board, and it's Trent Ringler who leads them here. Ringler not off to the season that we're used to seeing him have, as now Michael Morley and the 16 of Richey are going to do battle here off of turn number 1. They'll make their way down into turn 2. This is the tunnel turn, and this is a very, very tricky part of the racetrack. High-speed portion of the racetrack, very easy to get the car sideways if you don't get that car set up on corner entry just exactly as you need to. Claude Furland off a top 5 run at Watkins Glen last week. No front nose on that car en route to that top 5 finish. And Furland comes into the night 5th place in points, 293 markers to his advantage coming into the night. As we go split screen here, you'll see your race leaders on the left-hand side. We'll keep an eye on this battle on the right-hand side, here with Michael Morley and Claude Furland. Furlan right on that left rear quarter of Morley as they go into turn number 3. They actually make that the tunnel turn. We were talking about Trent Ringler a moment ago. Ringler, who's got a couple of race wins last season here in the first year of the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Ringler hasn't even been close, hasn't even sniffed the top 10 yet this year. He started on the pole here tonight. He's just led his first 4 laps of the season in that 26 ride. But his best finish of the season so far this year has been a 21st, and that was last weekend at Watkins. He got swept up in a big accident there right off the drop of the green flag. So now we're going to ride on board here with Ringler as he looks back to Alex LeBay in car number 36. Down into that tunnel turn, right back on the gas heavy. You don't spend a lot of time off the gas, if any at all, there through the tunnel turn. And Alex LeBay right now running in position number 2. He was off to a great start this season. LeBay's only made 1 start here in 2020, and it was a second place finish to his teammate, John Schweikart. That was opening night at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So good to see LeBay back out here with us as his Xfinity schedule is now wrapped up for the 2020 season. And what a pretty looking car that is, the Can-Am sponsored number 36. We talked about the teammates there. You've got LeBay, Will LaRue, and John Schweikart, 2, 3, and 4. And then just behind them, aboard car number 8, driver with 2 wins already on the season. That is Tom Senchek. In the replay here, going down into turn number 1. Ooh, close call there between Callum McNichol in the 82 and the 19 of Cote. Five laps officially on the board, and it's 9/10 of a second. The lead right now for Trent Ringler. I expect that we'll see 3 stops here in this race. However, these drivers only have 2 sets of tires to use. And we've had 2 races now with the 2 sets of tires rule, and it seems that everybody tries to go just fuel only on that first pit stop of the night and then save the tires for the last 2 fuel runs of the night. I would say that's a majority of what guys have done, Brad. As we get a look here at Kevin Ridley, we'll go split screen again. Ridley comes into the night 3rd in the point standings, just 6 markers back of your leaders. And here comes Tom Senchek going after the one of John Schweikart. So 2 drivers who amassed 3 out of the 4 wins so far this season, duking it out for position number 4 and put Senchek up to 4th, Schweikart back to 5th, and Blake Neer just behind them aboard the 23. Neer making his first start of 2020 here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Riding on board here with Tom Senchek. 2 feature wins on the season, Auto Club Speedway in round number 2 and Texas Motor Speedway round number 3. And the Black Widow, Budweiser sponsored number 8, hauls it down into turn number 1. 180, 190 miles an hour all the way down to 148 as we get a change for position just ahead of him. It looks like Will LaRue is taking over 2nd away from Alex LeBay. And that's something we see quite a bit with Will LaRue. Very, very good at taking care of those tires to have them to go on the attack late in the run. Of course, Alex LeBay, a veteran in all things stock cars. And let's see, maybe LeBay slipped up here coming off of turn 1. Oh, got it loose coming off the corner. Almost got the concrete and is going to let LaRue hustle on by. So that gives us 8 laps on the board here so far as Ringler comes across the line. Last time by was 2.1 seconds the advantage. We should be coming up on our first pit stops of the night. So while we await that first pit stop of the night, why don't we go ahead and step aside here, take care of a couple of bills, and we'll be right back on the other side with more coverage of the Reaper Speed Lap 50 presented by Reaper Speed Lap and Caldecott Millwright Services. Stay tuned. You're watching live coverage here on GeForce TV from the Pocono Raceway.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway. Round number 5 of the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services, and you're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lap 50, presented by Reaper Speed Labs, Trayton Lapsevich and Boyd Hagen. Custom setups for various iRacing series. Look them up at Reaper Speed Lab. Well, we've still got Trent Ringler out front here aboard car number 26. He is led right from the drop of the green flag. Taking a look at a battle on the right-hand side. We'll go split screen here as you've got Sylvain Joly leading the pack here into turn number 1. And that is Claude Furland right there with them as well. Furland in the 43, Callum McNichol in the 82. And Brad, one driver I think we should highlight here before we get our first round of pit stops, and that's Blake Neer. Blake Neer running in position number 4, started 11th here tonight, and has clawed his way 7 spots up to position number 4 in the Ford Performance sponsored 98. Blake Neer making his first start of 2020 here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series, and it's been a good one here so far. "11 laps will come up on 12 laps now on the board here. 12 in, 38 to go. Still waiting on our first pit stop of the night. It's Trent Ringler, Will LaRue, Tom Senchek, Blake Neer, Alex LeBay, your top 5. And LeBay, who started on the outside pole, has been struggling just a bit here. The longer this fuel run goes on, he dropped a couple of spots to go back to 4th, and then Blake Neer drove right on by him to take over 4th, and that drop kicked LeBay back to 5th, as now Tom Senchek starting to put together a run here, going after the 55 of Will LaRue. And you can see Senchek starting to search around the racetrack just a little bit. You saw him enter just a little bit high into turn number 3, and it allowed him to cut down to that yellow line along the bottom of turns 3 and 4. And I think LaRue is going to let him on by into turn number 1. Senchek with a faster car right now. And that'll give Senchek position number 2 as Ringler continues to lead here. And now Blake Neer is going to start to come up on the 55 of LaRue as well. Battle back here for 6, 7, and 8. That's John Schweikart, Claude Furlan, and Callum McNichol. McNichol comes into the night, 6th place in the standings, aboard car number 82, as they get by John Schweikart in the 1. That's going to shuffle up your running order just a bit. Ferland will go to 6th, McNichol will go to 7th, and that'll drop kick Schweikart back to 8th. Here comes Blake Lanier underneath Will LaRue now. That is for position number 3. So Neer takes over the 3rd spot as they bring it off of turn number 3. So put Neer from 11th now up to 3rd as we keep an eye on Ringler on the right-hand side of your screen. Ringler, the race leader, has led 14 laps here so far. So your top 5 here, still awaiting our first pit stop of the night. Trent Ringler, Tom Senchek, Blake Neer, Will LaRue, Claude Ferland. That's your top 5. Callum McNichol, Kevin Ridley, Sylvan Jolie, Kyle Rochelle, and Jason Metcalf. Our first in-race reporter of the night rounds out your top 10. So getting some great overhead views here from the Pocono Raceway. Located here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, and it looks like one of our top 5, 2 of them now, coming to pit road. It looks like Senchek in the 8th. So Tom Senchek going to come down the pit road here as we put 15 laps on the board. And Tom Senchek will be the first one down the pit lane. 55 miles an hour is the pit road speed here tonight. Will LaRue going to pit right behind him here. And it looks like both of them hit the pit box perfect. And it's looking like fuel only here. Senchek is away, as is Will LaRue. Oh, one car missed the pit box. I think that was the 12 of Jim Smith Jr. Overshot the pit box. He had to throw it into reverse and get back to his pit box. He'll take fuel, and now he'll be down and away. Tough break there for Jamal, but still got plenty of time to make up ground here for the rest of this race as we're only 16, now 17 laps on the board. And our eyes turn to the attention of the 26 of Trent Ringler. When does Ringler hit the pit road? And by short pitting there just a little bit, does Tom Senchek and Will LaRue get an advantage here on Ringler? Be interesting to find out how it shakes out here as Ringler on cruise control, 18.6 seconds over now second place Michael Morley. Great run tonight for Morley, who started 10th up to 2nd here as we cycle through pit stops. And I think Ringler's hitting the pit road this time. Here comes your race leader. He will pit on lap number 17. All the way down to 55 miles an hour. Down this long pit road here at the Pocono Raceway. The 5-Star Racing, number 26. Down pit road, and he will hit box number 1 after qualifying on the pole here tonight. And Ringler, fuel only. Oh, Ringler's going to go tires here. Right side tires going on the 26. And he's going to go all 4 tires. Very interesting strategy here. Ringler down and away. And here comes Senchek into the picture. Oh, it's going to get interesting to turn number 1. And Ringler, by the hair on his chinny chin, is going to hold on to the lead, but look out, he's sideways. Your race leader almost loops it off at turn number 1, and there goes Tom Senchek for the race lead. Oh, baby. Now, of course, that'll be the race lead after they cycle things back around after pit stops here. Oh, that got intense. Will LaRue got back by, but here comes Ringler with those 4 Dr. Feelgoods. He'll drive back on by. Oh, a close call there for Ringler, and we're going to watch it again. He came off a pit road with 4 new tires, and of course they're cold. I mean, those tires are stone cold coming out of the pits. And here it is. Boy, almost loops it. What a great job of car control there to hold on to that one. Senchek cruised on by. But remember, Senchek went fuel only. And here comes Ringler, going to eat him up down the Long Pond straightaway. And this is now for the race lead, and Ringler will take it back. So Trent Ringler will reassume the lead here on lap number 19. That'll be 19 when they come around this time. Ringler, Senchek, Will LaRue, Claude Ferland, and John Schweikart your top 5. Alex Labbe has slid back to position number 10 after this round of pit stops. He may have gone tires as well. So we have been green all the way here so far. 19 on the board here in this Reaper Speed Lap 50. Getting a look here at Kevin Ridley, who's taken over a position from John Schweikart. Oh, look at this battle here down the Long Pond straightaway. Callum McNichol and Sylvain Joly going by the 29 of Metcalf. And that's also the 01 of Kyle Rochelle. Metcalf getting a little sideways there through the tunnel turn. And I think you're seeing a lot of different strategies play out here. Some guys electing to take tires, some others decided not to. And I can't wait to see how this shakes out the rest of this race. I had a feeling it was going to be 4 tires all the way around for everybody, but for somebody like Trent Ringler, it definitely made sense as, boy, Rochelle and Metcalf really getting close there. In the Turnler to try and take those tires because he had such a gap on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place car. Why not take a stab at it? And it actually paid off for him. He was able to come back out with the lead. Metcalf doing yeoman's work, sawing on that wheel, trying to hold on to that spot from Kyle Rochelle. This is the battle for 9th. And boy, look at Rochelle right on the back bumper of Metcalf. Going to draft him all the way down the front straightaway. And into turn number 1, Metcalf heavy on the brake there to get that thing woed up. Sylvain Joly going after Callum McNichol for position number 7. Couldn't quite make the move that time. Out of the tunnel turn and into turn number 3. Just ahead of the spot. So Sylvain Joly takes over position number 7. Joly comes into the night 11th in the point standings. Just 1 point behind Michael Ligori to crack into the top 10 here in our year-end standings. Rochelle takes the spot back from Metcalf again, as these guys continue to do battle. Oh, John Schweikart almost clipped the wall coming out of turn 1 that time and opened up the door for Joly. We got great battles all over the place right now. Take a look at this replay here as Rochelle battling. Oh, that got close. Metcalf may have even gotten a piece of the wall there just a little bit. Great racing here tonight on a very, very high-speed racetrack here for these cars. Let's jump up and take a look at the battle for position number 3, and it's a good one right now. Claude Furlow, as we're 23 laps in the books. He took that spot away from Will LaRue, who now slides back to 4. And now Furlan going to start to put some distance on him here as they come down to the line to put lap number 24 on the board. Next title. So Trent Ringler, Tom Senchek, Claude Furlan, your race leaders. As they run right now, 10.5 seconds the advantage for Ringler. As they run right now, and don't forget, he took 4 tires there on that first pit stop of the night. And Ringler crosses the line. That will put us to the halfway mark. Stage points will be handed out to the top 10 drivers that they will get to add to their season total here for the 2020-2021 season. And the yellow flag will come out. Caution lights are on here for the first time tonight. And it is for our stage break. Stage number 1 goes to Trent Ringler. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have our second round of pit stops. For tonight, you're watching the Reaper Speed Lap 50 here on G-Force TV. Stay tuned.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Koni shock absorbers. From street shocks to adjustable race dampers and even truck shocks, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
Welcome back, race fans. You're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lap 50. Series presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. Stage 1 is in the books. And here comes second on back. Trent Ringler will stay on the racetrack. Callum McNichol will also stay on the racetrack, it looks like. And Tom Senchek, the first leader on the pit lane. Let's see what he does for service here. Senchek down into pit box number 3. One driver down and away already. That was Sylvain Joly in the 08. And now here comes Mannix Richet. As a lot of those other top 5 cars, oh boy, Claude Furlan came out with a ton of speed out of his pit box. We'll keep an eye on him. Boy, he'll come off there awfully quick. A lot of those drivers, 4 tires and fuel, but this is going to shake up the running order without a doubt. And while we have the opportunity here, let's see if we can dial up. Let's see where he is. No, I guess we don't have Trent Ringler here on the chat tonight. So, unfortunately, we won't be able to get a word with your Stage 1 winner. So while we have this opportunity, why don't we go ahead and talk with our second in-race reporter tonight. We'll get a quick word here with Kevin Ridley aboard car number 20. And currently Kevin running in position number 8 here. We've just had our second round of pit stops. Kevin, how's the car going for you tonight here around the tricky Pocono Raceway?
Oh, it's going pretty good. If the driver wasn't making so many mistakes, I'd be all right. I was changing my pit settings and drove it into the fence all on my own. And then one time I just had a little bit of a brain fade and drove it in the turn 4 outside wall a little bit. Kind of messed up the fender a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. It's really good in long run here, so hopefully we can go green to the end.
Certainly what we've had here tonight, a lot of green flag runs. Actually, the stage break was our first yellow of the night. Has that caught you or any of your teammates by surprise?
I think so. I think we spread out pretty good here after like 2 or 3 laps. It's pretty wild the first couple here, but it gets spread out. It's kind of just one lane. It's hard to pass if you're not really, really good. So I don't think we'll be getting too many cautions here.
All right. Well, hopefully it's not too wild for you here, restarting in position number 20. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
So there's Kevin Ridley. A couple words there as I think he may have tried to repair some damage there and has put him back to position number 20 here for the restart. 21 cars still on the lead lap here as we get ready to go back to green. And it is going to be Trent Ringler, Callum McNichol, Sylvain Joly, Mannix Richet, Tom Senchek, the top 5. Claude Furland, Will LaRue, John Schweikart, Alex LeBay, and Jason Metcalf. Right now, your top 10 as they come into turn number 3. Hey, again, only 3 turns here at Pocono. I always love they put on the wall on the outside there of that final turn. What turn 4? They don't have 4 turns here at Pocono. One of the more unique racetracks on the NASCAR circuit. iRacing Ford Mustang pace car pulls off the racetrack, and we are back to green here with our second and final stage of the night. How will the race strategy play out for the rest of this one? Everybody fighting for track position down into turn number 1. As Ringler will hold on to the top spot. Oh, look at him. Oh, look out, John Schweikart, hold on to it. Just barely kept it off the wall there as they are duking it out here for position. Right now, side by side with his teammate Alex LeBay, and LeBay trying to bring Kyle Rochelle with him. Oh, they are close coming off of the corner. Down the long pond straightaway and down into turn number 3. You ride on board there on the right-hand side of your screen with Alex LeBay as you saw Senchek and Will LaRue. Boy, do those cars love to dance coming off the corner. Watching that trio as they head down into turn number 1. Claude Furlan trying to make an advance here on Mannix Richet just ahead of this pack, but this is where the good racing is happening right now. Schweikart, oh, hold on to her. Mannix Richet just ahead of him. They'll bump draft down the long pond straightaway into the tricky tunnel turn. Schweikart down to the bottom. Richet stuck up top, and now here comes the 8 of Senchek trying to come along with Schweikart for that position. Couldn't quite make it happen. Oh, and now here comes Will LaRue with Kyle Rochelle. Wow, throw a blanket over these cars. Oh, they are almost 3 wide there. Here comes LeBay trying to split through the middle. He saw an opening, and he's going to try and take it here, as they will both get by Richet. Richet's got to back off. 3 wide into turn 1 at Pocono, not going to work. And they are still battling here. Senchek not giving up on it here at all. Look at these cars. Rooting and gouging for position right now. And for position on the track. Richet has just not been able to keep that 16 down on the bottom of the racetrack, and now opens up the door for Rochelle. Meanwhile, just ahead of these guys, Callum McNichol is under fire right now. Trying to hold off Claude Ferland, and now here comes John Schweikart in the 1. Somebody lit a fire under John Schweikart, and he has gotten up on top of the wheel. He got by Sylvain Joly. He's now gotten by Claude Ferland and Callum McNichol. Move Schweikart up to P2. Ferland will gain a spot to go to 3rd. McNichol, who was restarted 2nd, now drop kicked back to 4th. Right now, Sylvain Joly rounding out the top 5, the Accent LED sponsored 08. Teammates there with Claude Ferland and Mannix Richet. As Joly trying to protect that bottom lane, bringing it through turn number 3, but look at Alex LeBay just eating up the advantage here, right to the back bumper off of turn number 4. And now LeBay's got company in the form of his teammate. Here comes Will LaRue, and they're going to bring Tom Senchek with them. Chess match at high speed here tonight. As now LaRue will overtake all of them to elevate himself into the top 5 here. That'll leave LeBay, Joly, Senchek, and Kyle Rochelle to duke it out here for 6, 7, 8, and 9. Last time by, the advantage was 1.3 seconds. Now here comes Callum McNichol. He's going to give up the ghost here and hit pit road. He was getting eaten alive here by these cars with 4 fresh tires. So McNichol hits the pit road here on lap number 34 with 16 to go. That's going to move Will LaRue up to 4th. It's going to move LeBay up into the top 5. Tom Senchek was able to get by Sylvain Joly in the 08. And right now the advantage for Ringler is starting to shrink. Oh, Sylvain Joly goes around on the Long Pond straightaway, and we've got cars crashing in behind him. That was the 19 of Jeff Cote. Boy, I don't know what happened there. Joly got around in between the tunnel turn and turn number 3, and then 2 cars made contact afterwards. And that'll put us under this yellow flag for the 2nd time tonight. Let's take a look here. Coming through the tunnel turn is Rochelle and Sylvain Joly. Let's take a look here. And, oh, just a little bit of contact there. Joly goes around, and then everybody was dodging for position behind him. I believe it was Jeff Cote and Kevin Ridley who came in after the fact. And Joly not happy with the 0-1 of Rochelle. Easy enough to say those guys will not be sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner table. And let's take a look. He's got the left rear quarter of Jolie. I think he was trying to get that side draft going into turn 3, and it just didn't work out. Leaders are on money stop time here for all these pit crews. We'll hit box number 1. 4 tires and fuel presumed for all of these cars. Oh, Alex LeBay. I think that was right side tires only. A bit pit strategy going on. To go back and take a look at that stop for LeBay. No, it was fuel. Oh, wow. Let's take a look here. Alex LeBay down into his pit box here. Final presumed pit stop of the night. Yeah, fuel only for the Can-Am 36 of LeBay. Very, very interesting. Going after that track position, I assume, trying to get out of the clean air. It's been kind of an up and down night for LeBay, qualified on the outside pole. And falling back, I believe, as far as 10th the racetrack here. And now with a little bit of pit strategy, he finds themselves back up in great here. Or Rainbow white car. Of course, these guys have 4 tires, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. With 37 laps now on the board and our final pit stop of the night in the books, let's step aside here real quick. We'll take care of a few bills here with the Rivalz Blacktop Series presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. You're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lab 50.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway, where we have 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 laps to go when we bring them back to the green flag. You're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lab 50, presented by Reaper Speed Labs, Trayton Lapsovich and Boyd Hagen. Custom setups for any iRacing series you're involved with. And you are watching the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. Big shout out to the McAllister family, located in Hanover, Ontario, Canada, for all your engineering, welding, pipe fitting, and millwright services. Give them a call there at Caldecott Millwright Services. Well, Callum McNichol used a little bit of strategy here to assume the race lead as he pitted under green just before that yellow flag came out. And we are back to green now with just 12 laps to go. And, oh, Trent Ringler nose first into the backstretch wall, and now we've got, I think that was Senchek around. Caution flag coming out. And it was Ringler who went for the big ride. Nose first into the backstretch wall. Wow. Hard hit there for the 26. As he's got some heavy damage on that car. Let's take a look here at the restart. Ringler started on the outside of row number 2, and that outside lane did not get a very good restart. As they hauled it off down into turn number 1, Ringler with 4 fresh tires on the outside lane trying to make it happen. Oh, and Ringler looks like he tried to change lanes and went right across the front nose of the 55 LaRue. So now Ringler, who led a majority of this race here tonight, now on the pit lane here. Tough break there for him. We've got 11 to go, working yellow. Callum McNichol, your race leader. I'd be interested if we have an opportunity to see the replay from the nose or the rooftop of the 55 LaRue. It looked on that first replay that we just got to see. And we're going to ride on board here with LaRue. It looked like Ringler was trying to change lanes. And the way he changed lanes, it certainly didn't look like he knew that LaRue was still there. Yeah. Oh, and then LaRue got into the 6. Wow, what a job by Senchek. Oh, there's going to be an angle for you. Wow. And Senchek must have gotten, let's take a look. Yeah, he's got some damage there. I thought he got that car woed up in time, but he's got some front-end damage on the 8, and certainly enough damage that's going to cause some problems for him. I think that's the 43 of Claude Ferlin that got a piece of that one as well. Ferlin's lost the hood on the 43. Yeah, let's ride on board here with the 8 of Tom Senchek here on this restart. And you're going to see the 6 of Michael Morley coming across the racetrack after contact between the 26 and the 55, and then it turned out to be contact between the 55 and the 6. Whoa! I thought he missed him, but there was definitely contact there, no doubt about it. Oh, that happened in a hurry. Claude Ferlin just drove straight in the back of the 55 of LaRue. And LaRue was sideways trying to gather it back up. Ferlin nowhere to go. He's lost the hood on that 43. Heavy front end damage there for Claude. And that is going to shake things up here just a bit. Alex LeBay made a pit stop there as well, it looks like. So whatever strategy some of these guys had in mind, I think it just got blown up there on that yellow flag. So caution out here. They'll come across the line and put lap 41 on the board. So there'll be 9 to go. Lights are off on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. And I think John Schweikart might be sitting in the catbird seat right now. Let's see if we get a word with him quick here.
3 and meet you guys again at the end of the race. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, man, well, good luck to you here. This restart looks like it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it seems like we wind down the end of the race is pretty tame for the most part, and then we get down the end of the race, and everybody really ramps up the excitement and the intensity. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just ready to get this over with. This should be fun.
All right, man, good luck to you here.
Yep, thanks, buddy.
All right, there's John Schweikart going to start on the outside of row number 1. And you know what? Let's give a call to the driver running in 6th right now, Adam Ross, in the AdamOutThere.PutItOutThere.com, number 35, up to P6 here on this final restart. First time we've called Adam's name tonight. Michael Ligori going to restart 4th in the Napa-sponsored 24. First time we've called his name tonight as well. So some of the strategy really working out for a couple of the guys here, trying to pick off a top 5 or a top 10 finish here before this one's over. Here we go. Let's see be the final restart of the night. We'll find out. Callum McNichol with a great restart on the inside lane. He will take off and try to drive away here. McNichol in the 82 will lead him into turn number 1. Oh, and it looks like we're back under the yellow flag right away here. Caution lights coming back on. Pace car didn't even have a chance to make it down the pit road. And I didn't see anything obvious here to put us under this yellow. Field will have to work all the way around the racetrack, and Steve Arvise has got a ton of damage on the 2. Let's take a look. Arvise going to bring it down into turn number 1, and that's a big pack there. Oh, just a little. Boy, those guys were racing awfully close there. Arvise in the 2, Jim Smith Jr. in the 12. They were trying to shuffle it out single file into turn 1. And Smith hooked the right rear quarter of Arvise. Did not look, anywhere near intentional. Looked like they were trying to sort it out down into single file. You don't want to be 3 wide in turn 1 here at Pocono. Let's ride on board here with Jamal as they will rumble down the front straightaway. Arvise right there to the left in the Discount Tires number 2. Jim Smith Jr. in the Fanatic sponsored 12. And it looked to me like Arvise had to check up a little bit in the corner and checked up more than Smith had realized as he was coming down into the corner. You heard Smith get off the gas, but it just wasn't in time. And that led to the contact, sending Arvise, and boy, that's a vicious shot, head on into the turn 1 wall. So as we get a look here at the replay, we'll get one more opportunity to take care of our great partners here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Stay tuned. You're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lab 50 here from the Pocono Raceway. Stay tuned.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the Cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Koni shock absorbers. From street shocks to adjustable race dampers and even truck shocks, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
And you're getting a look there at the ride that Steve Arvesay just took in turn number 1. Went head on into the turn 1 wall and then got clipped by a couple other cars and sent airborne. And that's how his night's going to end here at the Pocono Raceway. Currently shown in 19th, 1 lap down. But right now, the race leader, Callum McNichol, scored his best finish of the season last week at Watkins Glen with a 4th. It was his first top 5 of the season. He hasn't led any laps on the year until tonight, and that's changed. He's going to try and go for his second top 5, maybe his first win of the season. But he's going to have to contend here with John Schweikart. But I'll tell you, Schweikart has fresher tires, but McNichol has been money on the restarts. When they come back to the line, there will be 4 laps to go. And we're going to settle this one here at Pocono. Just coming out of the tunnel turn and headed for turn number 3. It's McNichol, John Schweikart, Michael Ligori, Will LaRue, the top 5. The top 4. Kyle Rochelle rounds out the top 5. Then it's Adam Ross, Mannix Richer, Alex LeBay, Jim Smith Jr., and Kevin Ridley, the top 10. Shout out to Reaper Speed Lab for presenting tonight's 50-lapper here from Pocono. And of course, the Blacktop Rivalz Series is presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. Callum McNichol, does he have another monster restart? Well, that one wasn't bad, but Schweikart is right there with him. They will go door to door into turn number 1 for the race lead here with 4 laps to go. Who's going to win it tonight at Pocono? Oh, Schweikart just drove it into turn number 1. Barely let off the gas, and he is going to take the top spot off of turn number 1. But look at this battle behind him. There's an absolute war going on, and Alex LeBay leading the charge with 4 fresh tires on the 36. LeBay is not done yet as he now takes over 3rd. So Alex LeBay moves up to position number 3. That leaves Michael Ligori to battle here with Kyle Rochelle and Adam Ross. Oh, look out, Rochelle is sideways. They're in turn number 3. Can he gather it back in? It looks like he won't. He'll spin it out right at the entrance of the racetrack, but he's not in the groove of the racetrack, so we will stay green. And now 3 laps to go, and Schweikart has opened up a 2/10 of a second advantage over Callum McNichol. McNichol runs 2. Alex LeBay 3, Michael Ligori 4, and Adam Ross right now running in the top 5. Oh, we've got a big wreck on the back straightaway. Caution lights are coming on, and it looks like this race might be headed to overtime. Big wreck on the back straightaway. Actually, it's in the short chute between turns 1 and the tunnel turn 2. I think Ridley may have been one of the cars involved there aboard car number 20. And that puts us under the yellow here on lap number 48. So yellow lights on here on lap number 48. It was Kevin Ridley, Jim Smith Jr., and Jason Metcalf all getting tied up as they were 3 wide in that short chute. Let's take a look here at the replay. And this was Rochelle, so this is incident number 1. Kyle Rochelle, the back end just coming out from underneath him, and he couldn't keep it straight there. Now we're going to watch the 12 of Smith Jr. and Ridley in the 20. And eventually coming into the picture, you'll see the 29 of Jason Metcalf. Metcalf is going to get a monster run. Now watch Ridley here coming off of turn 1. The car wiggled on him. He got up into the fence. That's Jim Smith Jr. looking for a racetrack to run on. And then Metcalf going to get a big run here. Unfortunately, Metcalf and Jim Smith Jr. making just a little bit of contact that sent Jamal back up the racetrack and into his teammate Ridley. And boy, that was not the way they wanted to see this race come to a close. All 4 cars out of that team got involved in that one. Frank Guerri Jr. got a piece of that. Jim Smith Jr. got a piece of it. Ridley got a piece of it. And Metcalf. Let's see it again. Ridley there. Got into the wall. Smith Jr. down to the inside, and then Metcalf underneath him, and then they made contact, and then it was history from there. So now John Schweikart with the race lead, but this is going to get real interesting. Green, white, checkered will make an attempt here at one. Let's ride on board here with Metcalf as they work down the back off of turn 1. And you see Smith and Metcalf make a little bit of contact right there. So this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. They'll take the green. If we're not able to finish the race under the checkered flag, we will make a second attempt, and that would be a final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If the yellow were to come out during that second green-white checkered finish, the race would be complete as is. So that kind of jumbles up the running order from 6th on back. Right now, John Schweikart scored as your race leader. Callum McNichol running in 2nd. Alex LeBay has worked his way back through the pack. He pitted 2 yellow flags ago and has now worked his way back up to 3rd. Michael Lagori 4th. Adam Ross right now running in the top 5. That would be the best finish of the season for Ross if he can hold on. Last week was his best finish of the year with an 11th at the Watkins Glen International. And for Michael Lagori, right now he's on pace for his best finish of the year. Running in 4th, his best finish of the season was a 6th at Las Vegas. Schweikart, we told you earlier tonight, already with a race win. In fact, his average finish so far this season, 5.25. With a win, a second, and a 16th last weekend at WGI. So the lights are now off on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. Field making their way through the tunnel turn. They will come back to green this time. I see a couple of drivers on the outside of the top 5 right now that have made recent pit stops, either for tires or for damage. Do they have anything for these guys ahead of them to try and crack into the top 5 or challenge for a win? Schweikart has been good, but he doesn't have the freshest of the tires of this group. Can he hold on? Can Callum McNichol pull off one of those amazing restarts that we've seen him do here tonight? iRacing Ford Mustang pace car pulls off the racetrack. First attempt at a green-white checkered is green. And LeBay and Schweikart with a great restart here. Oh, we've got a car in the fence already here on the front straightaway. That is the 96 of Steve Shaw. And that will put us immediately under the yellow flag here. And we will have to go to a second attempt at a green-white checkered finish. So while the field attempts to make their way back toward the pace car, we're going to have a couple of laps of yellow to work with here. So we'll take a look here at the replay first. And that's Steve Shaw in the 96, primarily red color machine there. He restarts behind Frank Guerri Jr. in the 113. And Kyle Rochelle trying to make something happen. Got into a three-wide situation there with Sylvain Joly. And into the 96 of Shaw. So John Schweikart scored as your race leader. Brad, why don't we step aside here and pay a couple of bills with our great supporters here. With the Blacktop Rivalz Series, you're watching live coverage of the Reaper Speed Lab 50 for the Rivalz Blacktop Series presented by Call to Call Millwright Services. Stay tuned, you're watching live coverage on GeForce TV.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, where tonight the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services, compete in the Reaper Speed Lab 50. Reaper Speed Labs with Trayton Lapsevich and Boyd Hagen, providing custom setups for all the various iRacing series that you may compete in. Give them a shout if you have some needs. Want to check out some of their trick setups here for a couple of the divisions that they compete with here on iRacing. We are under the yellow. We are in overtime. This will be the second and final attempt at a green-white checkered finish, as we have had the second half of this race just littered with yellow flags. And right now, why don't we take an opportunity here to talk with one of the drivers right now in the top 5. Adam Ross, you've been pouring it on here in the second half of this race. Going to restart 4th here on this final green-white checkered.
Like molasses, Steven. It's a slow pour, but, I've got a fast race car. Things have been good, and, yeah, these restarts have gone all right for me. Sorry for the show. I feel bad for Reaper Speed Labs came on to sponsor this race. The first half was amazing.
Certainly was, and we have had some yellows here in the second half, but the racing for the most part up front has been really good. And boy, we've talked about it. It seems like we're beating a dead horse here, but this 2-tire rule has really thrown strategy sideways here on a few of these races, and one of them being tonight here at Pocono.
Yeah, it definitely changes things. You've got to be a little bit easy on the race car, depending on the strategy that you run. But yeah, I think we're getting the rules down. I really like the group we've got here racing. It's Pocono is a really hard track, though. I mean, I think a lot of the reason we're seeing these yellows is the cars are quite on edge. They're a handful to drive.
Here for this final restart is the outside where you want to be.
Yeah, going into one's easy. Coming off of one on the inside, the back end gets real light. I like the thought of being up on the high side, and you can be carry more speed so you don't have to get on the throttle as hard.
Man, we'll let you get to it here. Let's see how it pans out.
Thanks, Steven.
All right, Adam Ross here, going to restart fourth here. Of course, he is the series director here for the Blacktop Rivals series. Led some laps. I believe it was at Texas he got some laps led in there. But here we go. John Schweikart, Alex LeBay, your front row here. Final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If the yellow flag were to come out, the race would be final. The field will be frozen. Green flag is out here. Final attempt at a green-white checkered is underway. So here we go. Schweikart with a great jump here on the restart. Oh, Ross got into the concrete there going into turn number 1. Oh, McNichol throws the elbow to Alex LeBay, and now here comes Mannix Richey in the 6th. No, excuse me, that's Felix Groton, and now the field implodes behind them. Caution flag will come back out, and the race will now be official. And I believe this is the first Rivalz Blacktop Series race that we've ever had here covering for 3-9 Productions and GeForce TV. This is the first one I can ever remember that's actually finished under the yellow flag. As guys in the back half of the field just couldn't get it sorted out. And this one, as Schweikart will come to the white flag. So John Schweikart will get his second win of the season here tonight with the Blacktop Rivals Series. Callum McNichol is going to be scored in second. The 6th that I misspoke, that was not Mannix Richey, that was Felix Groton. Felix Groton in the 6th. And I believe this is his first start of the season for Felix in that 6 machine. Let's take a look at the replay here. Field is now caught up to the pace car. And let's take a look and see what happened here to put us under that yellow flag. We're going to watch Callum McNichol and Alex LeBay. They got into it into turn number 1. And McNichol into the center of the corner. And I can't tell if the car got loose or pushed up on him. But it was Claude Furland and Frank Guerry Jr. that got together, and then everybody sent spinning behind them. But it's John Schweikart who's going to pull off the big win here tonight aboard the LaRue Esports #1, second win of the season. We will work on getting, I think we'll stay right here with these guys. We'll get our top 3. We'll get one more look here at the replay of the restart. Riding on board with Callum McNichol. Let's see what happened into turn number 1. Down into turn 1. And, oh, it looked like the car kind of pushed on him there. As it looked like he had the car pointed left and the car was not going that way. And then the wreck ensued behind him. So John Schweikart will celebrate here on the front straightaway. Win number 2 on the season here for Schweikart. And let's go into talking to our top 3 finishers here. Felix in car number 6. And Felix, before I go further, is it Groton or is it Groton? Felix, this is Steve in the GeForce TV booth. You got a copy? Felix, this is Steve Ovens in the GeForce TV booth. You got a copy? And it looks like Felix has exited stage left here on us. And I don't believe Callum McNichol is available here as well. So it looks like we're only going to get to talk to our... It looks like we're only going to get a chance here to talk to our winner here, who just got done cutting the donuts here on the front straightaway. John Schweikart, welcome back to Blacktop Rivals Victory Lane.
Hey, what's up, boys? I can't believe we did it.
Well, this one got crazy toward the end, man. We've never, as long as I remember doing these races here the last 2 seasons, I don't ever remember a race finishing under the yellow, but we used up all of those green, white checkers tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just a product of the track. If you get, because it separates really quick on a run, and especially early in the race, you saw everybody kind of have some give and take. But when it's when we have that late caution here, and this has been the same in the Open Series, everybody's just trying to get as much as they can get on that opening lap. And when you're falling, like just hauling down into turn 1, as long as the straightaway is, everybody just kind of jumbles up on the brakes, and then all hell breaks loose. So I think it's just a product of the track with the late caution is what caused those late yellows and the green, white checkered and finish under yellow.
You told us there toward the end of the race when we brought you in for a quick update, you said that you guys had struggled and you had to make some adjustments throughout the race. What was the biggest thing you guys had to overcome tonight on the setup?
So we, without giving away too much, we made too much right front camber in our set. We found that it gained a lot of speed, but we were only running short runs, like really short runs, and it gave us a lot of speed, but then we failed hard after a few laps. Like it really fell on its face. So to try and overcome that, I took 3 pounds out of left rear tire and added 3 into the right rear, and it was just a bunch of other like perch adjustments and added 8% of tape. So I mean, we were making wholesale changes during those 2 stops we had, and it came to life. But we didn't have the speed to compete with Trent and Tom. They were the 2 fastest of the field for sure.
Yeah, and then Alex used a little bit of strategy there late to get up into P2. So even though he looked like he was a little bit off the pace tonight as well, but he was still able to use a little bit of strategy to try and make something happen there at the end.
Yeah, he's a hell of a driver, and he can overcome a little bit of a setup issue. He can gain an extra tenth or 2 out of that set. So me and him and Will run the same thing. So he overcame, and he actually saved a bit on the tires, and then came from, I think it was P14 up to second, and then kind of got ruffled up there in turn 1 on that last restart. But I mean, that's racing. Everybody's going for the same real estate. So I mean, you can't really blame anybody. It's a green, white checkered. Last one, you got to go for it.
Let's talk about, your race here with Callum McNichol here toward the end. You had, we had enough yellow flags at the end. My question to you is, there was a few restarts where he had the control of the restart and got some great restarts. My question to you, though, is toward the end of this race, when you were able to hang with him and take the lead back, was it all those restarts that we had that kind of almost did you learn something about what he was doing on the restarts to kind of hang with him when you were finally able to take the lead?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing about it is I've raced with a lot of these guys for at least 3 years or more. And Callum I've raced really close with, neck and neck, for at least those 3 years, like really close, me and Callum all the time. So I've seen all his moves, and he got me on the 1 restart when he went a little early. So I put that little note in the back of my head. I couldn't get to him, and then we went down into 1, and the caution come out. So I had a feeling he was going to do it again, try and get that jump, because I had a little bit fresher tires, so I was able to hang with him. Plus, I don't know if you guys noticed, I was kind of messing with him out of the tunnel right before that restart, and was kind of like getting real close to his door and like jumping him just a little bit down that short chute just to try and mess with him. And then I was able to time that restart. I don't know, I mean, he's good at what he does, but I was able to time that restart and hang with him on his outside and then just drive around him through turn 1 and 2, which was great and gave me the lead. But he's a great competitor, and he had full control of that race.
Let's talk about this season as a whole here. Final question for you. You guys have had especially you, have had a really good season here. A win, a second. We'll put Watkins Glen in the rearview mirror, and now a win here tonight at Pocono. You are the leader in laps led this season. You've got the best average finish out of any of the drivers that have run all the races so far. I'm just curious, how do you take this momentum that you have now and keep it going? How do you take all these great runs and all these great stats, which don't mean a thing at the end of the season, but it's you're on a good run right now. How do you keep it going?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think honestly, the way to keep this momentum going is to get my teammate Will in those same finishing positions. We've had speed together. I've capitalized on that moment. He has been in some unfortunate situations and hasn't. And to keep him in the game and keep him up in the top 5 and having that momentum will also drive me to have that same success. So I think it's just a team effort. I don't think I should focus on myself. I think I should focus on him. And I think together that'll help keep the momentum absolutely going, if that makes sense. We just got to work together, work hard. And if he has a couple of those top 5 finishes, I'll be able to rally off that as well. And then I think together we'll be having that success going in the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. Tell us about all the folks that helped make it happen on that one car.
Yeah, got to thank LaRue Esports. Got to thank Will LaRue, Alex LeBay. I definitely want to thank Adam and everybody here at Canadian Sim Racing. And then I definitely want to throw a huge shout out to you guys in the booth in this broadcast. I think it's a really neat feature, and you guys do one hell of a job. And I hope anybody that watches this race just really appreciates the effort and quality that you guys put into it. I mean, this isn't the only league that you guys do, but you guys have an outstanding product, and I hope that your viewers enjoy it.
Well, we really appreciate that, man. It's been a lot of fun teaming up here with the guys from GeForce TV and the Blacktop Rival Series, and it's been a fun ride, man. We've got a great presenting sponsor now for the series. We even had a sponsor come on board for tonight. I mean, just like we talked about you with the momentum, this series is on that same kind of path, and it's been fun to be a part of the ride right from the get-go, man. Great job tonight.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you and Brad and everything you guys do and all your fans, and we'll catch you guys next week, and hopefully we put on one hell of a show there.
Oh, I'm sure they will. There's John Schweikart, tonight's race winner here at the Pocono Raceway. Man, for a race that went green all the way to the end of stage 1 under the green flag, we certainly littered it with yellow flags in the second half of the race, but you know what? We still had great racing on the racetrack. And at the end of the day, John Schweikart stands on top of the mountain here at the Pocono Raceway for his second win of the season. Want to send a shout out to Reaper Speed Lab for presenting tonight's Reaper Speed Lab 50. Thank you to Trayton Lapsevich and Boyd Hagen for your support. And thank you to the McAllister family in Hanover, Ontario, Canada from Caldecott Millwright Services. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on behalf of Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, Spencer Mullen, and the entire crew from GeForce TV. On behalf of our executive producer in the 3-9 Production Studios, Brad Ovens, my name is Steve Ovens, the voice of the Blacktop Rival Series, saying thank you for joining us and good night from Pocono Raceway. Congratulations to John Schweikart.